What's going on, everyone? So, this Laker team might be the most frustrating Laker team I think I've ever seen, right? Because it's like the Lakers are the 10th seed. They're at times look terrible and look like, man, this team is just doesn't have it, right? Like, this team just doesn't seem to care. Their energy is all over the place. Like, they just don't seem like a very good team. And then there's like other times where they look like the best team in the league and look like a team that can just win an NBA championship and just run through the West and end up in the NBA finals. And it's just like, it's so hot and cold with this team. And that is what I think is the most frustrating part about this whole thing, right? Because it's like the Lakers, I believe, are clearly better than their record. But in the same breath, you are what your record is, right? Like, you are what you are. And the Lakers have been a very inconsistent, unreliable basketball team. It wasn't that long ago that the Lakers were 5 games over 500 and just won the in-season tournament, right? And it looked like, okay, Lakers are going to be fighting for, top 3 seed at worst. Like, we're going to be good. We just got the in-season tournament, baby. Guess what? We back. We coming for that Larry O'Brien next, right? That was the idea. That was the goal. And we just went, and it's just been this hot and cold mix. And I mean, even recently, February was an excellent month, right? You went 9-3 in that month. But since then, it's like you lose to Denver, you beat OKC, you lose to Sacramento, you beat the Bucks. Like, and it's just like we can't afford to keep flip flopping. We can't afford to 1 game win, 1 game loss, 1 game win, 1 game loss. We have to figure out, what are we doing? Who are we? Are we a team that's actually trying to move into the playoffs? That is actually trying to win an NBA championship? And look, I keep saying, I believe in this team. I believe if we get to the postseason, bring on anybody, even Denver, but I'm not as confident about Denver, right? Like, I wouldn't bet on the Lakers against Denver, but hey, give me a fighter's chance, right? Give me a puncher's chance against Denver, and I'll take it. And rather that than like just not being in the playoffs at all, right? So to me, it's like, bring on anybody. I trust this team to beat most teams in a 7-game series. But in the same breath, I don't trust the Lakers to necessarily get there, right? Like, if we end up the 9th or 10th seed, I have genuine concern about us making the playoffs. Can we win 2 straight games? Absolutely. Will we? That's the question. Can we consistently put it together for 2 straight games? And the fact that that's even a question is concerning in and of itself. But my thing is, like, if we were to get to the 7th or 8th seed and we get into the postseason and we play Minnesota or we play the Thunder or we play the Clippers, and basically anybody but Denver, bring them on. Like, I'll take our chances. But it's this tough situation the Lakers are in, right? You don't have LeBron. We go and we beat the Milwaukee Bucks. D'Angelo Russell drops 44 and 9, looks spectacular, which he's been fantastic. But I made a video, I've talked about him heavily this season, even made a video diving into him specifically. So if you haven't watched that video, go check out that video after this one. But like, you saw in the Bucks game, no LeBron dealing with an ankle injury. And supposedly he's been dealing with it for like a month or 2 now. Just kind of the wear and tear, as he put it. Anthony Davis catches an elbow in the shoulder by Giannis. Is it just like a little stainer, or is it something that could be an issue? We'll find out as things progress. We can't afford to sit Anthony Davis any significant time because we can't replicate Anthony Davis. I've talked about this heavily in live streams and videos. Like, LeBron, we can supplement, right? We can kind of fill in the gaps for him. We're not better without LeBron, though, right? Like, there's this like running narrative that's very silly where it's like, oh, we're better without LeBron. We're not better without LeBron, right? Can we win a game or several games? Yes. We're not going very far in the postseason without LeBron James. You need his experience, his ability to take over games, his basketball IQ. There's so many things that you need about LeBron. His consistency. You know, game in and game out, you're going to get 25, 7, and 7 from him, right? Like, as great as D'Lo's been this year, he has bad games, right? I mean, even LeBron's bad games are better than most people's good games, right? Like, that's the thing. Like, we're not better without LeBron. But we can collectively as a team pick up and kind of offset some of the things when LeBron misses during the regular season. Like, I even think we could win like maybe a game in the postseason, maybe two, depending on the team, like the matchup. Right? Like if we were playing the Thunder, like I think we could beat the Thunder. Maybe not 4 games, but I think we could beat them. Like if LeBron just like needs an extra day's rest or something, like I think we could win a game. But you're not beating a Denver or anything like that without LeBron James. You're just not. But we need LeBron as healthy as possible. So it begs the question of like, do we just sit LeBron for a good stretch, right? I wouldn't sit him the entire rest of the season. One, I don't think LeBron would want to because LeBron's got to play at least 65 games for his accolades so he can be on the All-NBA teams and stuff like that. So I don't see LeBron going like, yeah, I'll just sit the rest of the season. But, like, could you give him like 2 weeks off? I think so. And just kind of live with it. Because, like, here's the thing. We are still the 10th seed. We're a game out of 8th. We have a couple breaks that have gone our way, right? Steph, he's hurt. We'll see how long that plays out. Now, obviously, you don't want anyone hurt. You don't want anyone injured. Like, you want to be able to compete and see how it goes. But that is a break for the Lakers, right? The Warriors are not their best version of themselves without Steph Curry. They're going to lose games that they would have probably otherwise won without Steph Curry, right? So that is a break for the Lakers. Even like, Minnesota to an extent, right? Because based on where they fall in the standings, right? That could put Denver as like the 1 seed or something. Or maybe, the Thunder end up as the 1 seed, right? And the Lakers end up as the 8th seed. And then boom, there you go. You end up playing the Thunder in the first round, right? Like there are things that could, as this progresses, land in the Lakers' favor. We'll see. But at the same time, like, even through all this, it's still very possible we end up in the 9th or 10th seed. So I do think that there is a bit of an argument of like, sit LeBron, give him, 2 weeks or so to where, he's still playing the last, 12 games or whatever, right? Because you don't want him to completely get out of rhythm, out of flow, because he's been very good this year, right? Shooting, everything, right? Like you want him to be able to jump right back into the swing of things, especially kind of ramp up towards the postseason. But if he's really dealing with this ankle injury, you want him to be as fresh and healthy as possible. Because the fresher and healthier LeBron James is, the better chance you have of beating some of these other teams when we get to the playoffs or the play-in. So to me, it's like, okay, sit LeBron. That forces all these other guys to pick it up, right? That forces D'Lo, not necessarily to go drop 44, but it forces him to play better, which he's been great, right? He's been averaging 20 a game since January. So last 2 months, D'Lo's been fantastic, but it keeps him in that, right? And now he has to continue to play to that level, and it just gets him more comfortable, puts him in a bigger role, puts him in a more consistent spot. Same thing with like an Austin Reeves, a Rui Hachimura, right? Anthony Davis, he's got to pick up and play better, right? Because you don't have LeBron to fall on. Right? All of these guys have to now start picking things up and have to start consistently playing better. And so to me, that kind of just raises the ceiling of this team, that gets everybody in rhythm. You start rattling off some wins like the Milwaukee Bucks game. Confidence starts building. You start getting high. All of a sudden, you're just in a better position for when LeBron comes. Now, he's just kind of plugging himself in, playing within the team and the structure, which we've seen him do more this year than I think he has in the previous year, especially last year. He's been more fine kind of picking and choosing his spots, letting D'Lo kind of play on ball more and run the show. Like, to me, give everyone else the confidence. Let them kind of rally and pick everything up. You saw it last year, right? LeBron, we get the trade, all that stuff. LeBron's out, and this team just starts rolling, right? D'Lo comes in. He's putting up 33 in 11 games, and, he's just it was really good. Austin Reeves emerges and becomes the Austin Reeves we know and love. You saw everybody just kind of hit their stride and get into a flow. And then LeBron comes in, and now boom, right? Everyone's in stride going into the playoffs. To me, you can kind of replicate that, right? You kind of rest LeBron, sit LeBron, and let him recoup. Everyone else has to pick it up, right? And now, hopefully, everyone hits their stride. LeBron comes back. We get into the 8th seed. And now we just got to win one game in the in-season tournament or the play-in tournament. Boom, we get that. And now you're in the playoffs and let's go, right? Turn it on. You got a healthy LeBron, healthy AD. I mean, we had a LeBron James that needed foot surgery, a one-legged Anthony Davis, and a one-legged D'Angelo Russell. We made the conference finals. What do the Lakers look like if everyone's healthy, right? If Reeves and D'Lo and LeBron and AD are all healthy, what does that look like? Again, I will take my chances against every team in this league. It is incredibly frustrating, as I mentioned earlier, that it's like some games it looks like the Lakers are the best team in the league, and then other games it's like they look like they're the worst team in the league. It's like there doesn't seem to be like this in between. It's like we're the Detroit Pistons or we're the Boston Celtics. It's like can we just like find that like middle ground? Can we just be like the Cavs this year? Right, to where it's like they're really good, they're winning a bunch of games, they're like clearly good, and then you have LeBron James and Anthony Davis as like your puncher's chance. Like that's kind of my hope. Look, I still believe in this team. I still trust this team again in the postseason. Would I bet on them? No, but I am optimistic as I was last year, and it paid off to an extent. Obviously, we didn't win a championship. I am of the mindset as a Laker fan, championship or bust. But given the circumstances, you can look at last year as like, hey, that was a big success. Kind of feel that way this year too. If we get to the conference finals, get to the NBA finals, obviously I want to win the championship, but can we get there? To me, this team has the talent. Can they put it together? Start getting your guys back healthy. Lakers could be in a good position. But it's just, I don't know. There's a lot of questions about this Lakers team and like how they should approach it and what they should do and how should we go about it. To me, I prioritize health over everything, right? As long as we have a healthy LeBron and AD, I believe we can beat anybody, or we at least have a chance to beat anybody. So can we get those two? Can we just keep those two guys healthy, and then we'll be fine? I'm not worried about us falling out of the play-in, right? Like the Lakers, they're like 6 games or whatever over the Utah Jazz. Like they're not going to lose that many games, because not only do they have to lose that many games, Utah has to win that many games. Utah isn't very good this year, and the Lakers have the tiebreaker. So I'm not worried about the Lakers falling out of the play-in. So to me, it's like if everyone kind of pick it up and raise the bar a little. On top of that, you add in, LeBron getting healthy, us kind of still having the same odds and chances. Like if we squeeze into the 8th and now LeBron's healthy, guess what? You're probably winning that first play-in game, and now you get some rest. Maybe you luck your way into the 6th seed. Cause especially towards the back end of March and all of April, all those games are very winnable. Very winnable. It's just kind of this like front end of March. And we need to start winning games. Again, we got to stop trading games. Win, loss, win, loss. We got to knock that off. We got to start rattling off games in a row. But I don't know. Anyway, as always, this is a discussion. So I pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? Agree with my points? Does this team frustrate you as much as it does me? Do you trust the Lakers if they get into the postseason? Do you trust the Lakers to get to the postseason? Do you think that they should sit and rest LeBron and let him kind of get some health, kind of get himself in order, get better? Again, however you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I would love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. Lets me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Now subscribe to the channel. Hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.